We tried to reach out to the man who died in this pursuit. They were unavailable for comment. Micah, back.
All right, welcome back to King's Court. I'm your host, the bad man of comedy, Richard Redneck Pimp King. And today we got a couple people calling on with us. J-Dub from BB Nation will be joining me here in just a second to help me host this event we have. But we also got a familiar name. He's back, and he's been a guest for a while. Hadn't been on any of our platforms for a while, but he's back. Mr. Dan McNeil. You used to know him. He's making cool ass hammocks, but now he's doing other things. So let's check the comments real quick. Oh, first online is Dean. How y'all? How you doing, brother? Let's bring Dan on, everybody. Everybody, welcome, please, to King's Court. His first appearance, Mr. Dan McNeil.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, brother? He's an Army veteran. Okay, retired truck driver. Been retired for 2 years. I wasn't aware of it. I thought he still drove a truck. Shows you how many times I've been in contact with Mr. Neil here. He's a 2-year, been retired 2 years. Army vet. You also know he was the hammock maker. We had him on W Entertainment on our network over there a couple different times. He sponsored people and things like that. So he's on here today. He's doing something different. We'll get into all that here in a little bit. We're going to show you somebody's bug out bag, and he's going to have a conversation about some of the things he does now. Okay. So without further ado, y'all know how this works out. First thing we're going to do, and Dan, welcome, brother. We appreciate you being on here.
Thank you.
We're going to start out and with the missing persons, and I hope you hang around for the mystery section tonight. You'll probably learn a little bit. Hell, maybe you already know you're an intelligent man. But without further ado, let's get on to the mysteries here. Now, today, we're going to do a local man. Okay. He was brought up on last week's show, and we're going to talk about him. This is a kind of a weird case. And so we're going to bring him on. This one here is called, Jason Huff is his name. He came up missing in 2020. Here's the stats. Huff was last seen November 11th, 2020, after leaving his home in Cameron, Missouri. He visited several stores in St. Joe, Missouri, and was last observed at the Trexmart gas station off Interstate 29 in Dearborn, Missouri. Now, there's some distance between those two locations, okay, where he appeared in to be good spirits. Now, they base all this on cameras and things, and eyewitness accounts of people behind the register. And it said on November 13th, Huff's white 2014 Volkswagen Passat bearing Missouri license plates was discovered abandoned on a rural road near soybean fields in Clinton County. That's back toward Cameron now. We're back that way in Clinton County, Missouri. At the time of his disappearance, Huff was employed as a prison guard at the Missouri Department of Corrections. His case remains unsolved. I was employed there before too, but not when he was there. Here's his stats. Last seen November 11th, 2020. Age 47. Height 5'9". Weight 175 pounds. So not an overwhelmingly big guy. If you have any questions or any information, please contact the Cameron Police Department at 816-632-6521. Again, it's 816-632-6521. There's a Jason Huff database entry at www.missingpersons or missingpeopleinamerica.org/missing/Jason Huff. All the information on here, blah, 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 goes to the finding and the disappearance of Jason. And it's been November 2020, guys. It's been a while. It's a weird case because he was on camera at a distance away, came back, and he wasn't on camera no more. They hadn't dug up any death threats from him or anything like that. They don't know nothing about him or nothing about the disappearance. It's all just weird. So, but here it is. He was brought up last week by a good viewer of ours, Travis Eldridge. Thank you, brother, for that. But there it is. If you guys can help out with this case, this is certainly a weird, baffling case. Now we'll go to our news and memes real quick. Oh, this is our comments here. I'm sorry. DS, who lived under a bridge and I got friends with vacation homes in the Caribbean. I never understood jealousy. I'm just blessed to be somewhat between the two. Sorry, don't post my last comment. I was texting someone and it flipped the screens. My bad. He said not to post, and I did. Well, whatever it is you're going through, Dean, we're here for you, brother, and we appreciate it very much. Guys, share out. We get Dan on here, and Dan McNeil's on here. He's going to talk with us a little bit. Great guy. Can't wait to have him on here talking to us. Let's go on here and let's do some of our news and memes. As you guys know, coming up, and it's coming quickly now, I'm going to be at the Outlaw factory over there in North Kansas City. Outlaw Cigar Brewery, out in North Kansas City, July 26, 2025, to Saturday. We're doing a big band bash for Reality Becomes. You guys remember them? They played at our Warrior Fest for us, about three or four or five of them, if I'm not mistaken. They were there. And they got other bands going to help them. They're going to 10 years of Reality Becomes and 25 years of one of the band members named Mac. 25 years sobriety. You can't, come on now. 25 years, anything should be celebrated, right? It's Outlaw Cigar Brewery, 309 East 10th Avenue, North Kansas City, Missouri. You got Direct, you got United USA, Yellowbird, Reality Becomes, and your boy. I'm going to be on stage. I'm kicking it all off. 6:30 show. 6:30, kicking it off. We're going to get after it. All right. And then today I was talking to Roy Anthony. The movie's on. We're going to read the script tomorrow night at 8. It's a private reading, not for everybody on here, but we're going to be online reading the script, getting our characters polished up, and then I'm going to be hitting Hollywood here sometime coming up this summer. We're going to get this movie finally going. Had a lot of holdups for it, but we're going to get it going. He's got sponsors going on. Hell, we got Caterpillar involved. Caterpillar is going to be sponsoring some of the clothes that I'm going to be wearing because I'm playing a construction guy. So that's be going on. And I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors today. First, Heroes for Heroes, helping the veterans of Northwest Missouri and the surrounding areas. And these guys help you, man. If you get behind no bills, transportation, whatever, you call them up, they'll find a way to work it out for you. They put on a lot of rodeos. Their money comes from rodeo circuits, from people to go to rodeos and watch things and donate and stuff like that. That's where the money comes from. Check them out. They're real good people. Real good people. And as you see it on the screen, I'll remove us real quick. Kelly's Fireworks. Kelly's Fireworks is our sponsor for a couple of weeks. My shirt on says right here, says I'm a pro. Don't worry, I'm a pro. Kelly's Fireworks, guys. They got installations in Cameron, Missouri, Chillicothe, Missouri. I think Bethany. I heard Eagleville. I heard all over. Okay, they've got 4, 5, 6 places all over. Guaranteed, these people are great selling fireworks. They know what they need to sell. They know their audience. And listen, if you get a dud, they'll give you your price back. And everything there is buy one, get one free. You buy one full price, right? You get another one free. That's a no-brainer. Why buy one and not get the other one free? That's crazy. Kelly's Fireworks, guys. Check them out. Locations. They're part of Sense-Nick Jewelry out of Chillicothe. Sense-Nick, you want to type in Sense-Nick Jewelry. You can buy online. They'll ship to you. Do whatever. Great place. Absolutely outstanding environment. Check them out. And our last one for today is PNC Construction. Parker and Chloe Construction. All your concrete needs around here you want done, call them up. And they do flat work, curbs, do foundations, pony walls, 8-foot walls. You name it, they do it. PNC Construction. Quality, guaranteed. I know the bloodline because it's my son. I know how he's taught. He's excellent concrete guy. He will do you right. PNC Construction. Guys, there's no other name when it comes to concrete. Okay, now we're going to get down to our memes here. Hopefully you guys get a chuck out of this, and there you go. We only have one life, Snoopy. Wrong. We only die once. We live every day. That is great. That is a great statement, guys. Check that out. Remember, we only live once. Snoopy said. Wrong. We only die once. We live every day. That is so true. Get up and get out. This one right here, a lot of people haven't figured this out. You sharp-witted people are going to figure this out. Before calculus, there was people used in abacus. 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 Those of you who don't know ABBA, Some of you don't know KISS. Put them together. That's right. Here's one. A frustrated patient finished the word liar near a painless dental sign in San Diego in 1920s. Painless dental. Liar. That's funny. Dentists are, that's one occupation they're not very painless at. Now this one here, I don't know who made the mistake. It says, can I take this medicine with diarrhea? Yeah, but it tastes better with water. Is the doctor not understanding what she was saying, or was she saying when she drinks diarrhea? I don't know. Common mistake there, but it's funny. I'm writing a book about beer. I'm on my 4th draft. That'd be a pretty good dad joke, And finally, as far as the steel memes go, an owl captured a child's hobby horse and carries it around the town. I know right now Harry Potter fans are thinking Harry Potter's out riding his broomstick because that it looks kind of like somebody riding a broomstick. But it's actually an owl riding the broomstick. He took out a kid's yard, a little hobby horse. That's funny. That's funny. And we'll go to our live memes today. I got a couple of them. One of them I might play last week. I don't remember, but we're going to play it for you now.
Here at the scene where a woman killed her husband because he stepped on the floor while she was mopping. Has the woman already been arrested?
Not yet. We're waiting for the floor to dry.
Waiting on the floor to dry. They ain't making that mistake, guys.
Breaking news, it is now mandatory for men and women to make a joint decision for dinner and not say whatever you want. No exceptions.
Thanks, Keisha. We are reporting live in New York City where couples still can't make a decision on what to eat. This is becoming an ongoing problem in America. Most say it should be easy, but they both mess it up. The White House signing this into law, a decision must be made. The administration will comment more on this on Monday.
Women, you can choose where you want to eat, and men, you can choose as well. The U.S. Navy and U.S. Air Force introduced Iran to Kelly's fireworks. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. A crash course. Enjoying it. Do you even jump? Says, I always like to say, live each day as if it's the first day of the rest of your life. But at the same time, live each day as if it might be your last. Hey, very good. And thanks for joining us. Do you ever jump? New listener, we appreciate it very much. Share it out to your friends. Okay. Now, we're still waiting on J-Dub, but as he comes on, we'll kick him on. If not, here we go. Okay. Our mystery segment today is going to be after Dan. Dan's going to talk first. So, Dan McNeil, brother, welcome to the show. We had you on before. You made them killer ass hammocks. I hope you did well with them things. Now, let's tell everybody about you and what you do for a living now.
So I retired 2 years ago from driving. I did that for over 20 years, but I've kind of changed the business around. It was all just making custom hammocks and everything, and it was all online sales, and we did pretty good. We got sales in all over the U.S., Canada, Europe, a lot of places. But I noticed that there was here in Southern Illinois, we have the Shawnee National Forest, and there's a lot of outdoor activities that take place here. And one of the things is the river to river trail. It's 160 miles. A lot of people will backpack that. Me and my brother did that 2 years ago, and I've seen people. I follow Facebook pages on that, and I've seen people that they'll travel from like Chicago or somewhere down here to do that trip, and then get down here and realize, oh, I left my cook pot, or I left, my tent stakes or something. And there's not a lot of places around here to get, especially good quality gear. So I seen that kind of need, and I kind of shifted my business to more to concentrate on the local people and have it more of a local business and stuff. So we started carrying some camping gear, and then making our own camping gear too. And with that, we're able to do a lot of custom stuff for people.
Man, sound like you're a hell of a guy when it comes to business opportunities. I know you took your hammock thing pretty far, made the killer hammocks. Do you sell any accessories or anything, or do you have any inventory of hammocks you sell?
For the hammocks, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been working on. I'm going to eventually start making tarps for hammocks, but also with the tarps, the bushcrafting world, a lot of bushcrafters use tarps and everything. So I've been working on some of those, and I'll be making other accessories for hammocks for because I still hammock camp and stuff, and I still know a lot of people that do. So continue to make some more accessories for those.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Well, you said you're a retired truck driver also. Where all have you been and where have you not been that you wanted to go that you never had the opportunity?
So I've traveled everywhere in the U.S. and I've been all across Canada. So as far as places a driver can go, I've pretty much been everywhere over that course of time. And the only thing that sucks about it is you see so much stuff from the highway that you can't actually get to. Like I've been all around the Grand Canyon. I've never been able to get into it, you know. So there's a lot of places I'm gonna have to go back and check out in the car, you know.
Right, right. Well, it's not the same. Not the same at all. Now, um, my other host who's come on here, he's going to be on here in just a second. He sent me some photos, and I showed you offline. I want to talk a little bit about this because you say you're selling camping gear and stuff. Um, and this is well, it's not really well, some of it is, I guess, more of a bug out bag is technically what it is. So let me share this to the screen for everybody to see here, and we'll talk about some of these things on here. Now, again, J-Dub's not on here real quick to go over some of this, but you see the picture there. You went over this a little bit online. He's got water. He's got, not various different kind of knives, which I get that. I mean, you got to have different knives. He's got a saw. He's got gloves and clothes on there. You got a binocular, okay, and you got cups and stuff to eat with. What's one of the biggest accessory items that you're selling, and what do you think about the bug out bag theory?
So the bug out bag theory, I get it, and I have a bug out bag, especially when I was driving. Especially those last 6 years, I was more local in the area, within a few hundred miles. So it was more realistic if I needed to bug out from there to get home, you know. And as far as the gear and stuff we carry, like when we were talking offline, one of the things I say that people make a mistake, I watch a lot of YouTube channels with preppers, bug out bags, bushcrafters, all that kind of stuff. And I'm into all that a little bit on my own. But one mistake I see a lot of people, they load up their gear for their bug out bags, and it's too heavy to realistically travel any distance. Especially, I mean, most of us aren't 20 years old anymore, you know, and can throw on a 100-pound ruck and take off. So I think a lot of the gear in bug out bags, and even for bushcrafters and everything, would be better lighter gear. And some of the stuff we carry, like this is a Tokes titanium pot. We're a Tokes dealer. Okay. And what's that?
Hold on a minute. Let me make it big. There you go. Say
Okay.
it. Tell them.
Yeah. So this is a Tokes titanium pot. We have them with just the handles, and then we also have them with the bale handle. So like if you were cooking a fire, you could put it on a log over the fire and cook it that way. It's titanium. It's really lightweight. This one weighs, with the handles, only weighs 3.9 ounces.
Oh, wow.
And we have a lot of the titanium plates, utensils, with all that stuff from Tokes that we carry. Another thing that we carry, a lot of people with bug out bags don't put a lot of emphasis on water, good, clean, safe drinking water.
Right.
One of the things we carry is CNOC. This is a 1 liter bag. We carry, we have 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter bags, and they're really great with the Sawyer water filter. You just screw that right on top of that, scoop up. This has a wide mouth opening, and you can just fill it up really easily. It's got a wide mouth opening. You could dip it in the creek, pond, whatever, and then screw your filter on here and then filter the water into a bottle. These things are lightweight, and like I said, we have them in 1, 2, and 3 liter things. So that's something. It doesn't take up much space when you're using it. It rolls up. It's really super durable. I've had mine for several years and put countless miles on them. We have a certain version of this called the Vector that you could actually put boiling water in if you wanted to. The regular ones you cannot. So options like that for water, instead of carrying like, you don't want to carry 10, 12 pounds of water if you can avoid it, but something like that in a small filter, you can filter your water and everything. And that makes it a lot easier for you to maneuver, travel any distance. A lot of the bags, they have the Cordova bags, a lot of bushcrafters and all that stuff. And people in their bug out bags, really durable and everything. But those bags, ounces, there's a saying, ounces make pounds and pounds make pain. And you've got 5 different bags that are made of that heavy Cordova that adds weight really quickly. But something like this, a simple bag, it's made, this is a little, just a box bag I made, and I use it all the time. It's made out of really light material. I can see through it. Super, super durable. We have stuff like this material. It's a Hyper D 300. It's waterproof. I make, this is one of the ground cloths I make. These are great. Underneath a hammock when you're getting out, changing your shoes or stuff, or in front of your tent, or just laying out your gear to kind of sort through your gear, keep it off the ground and everything. So we carry a lot of the titanium stuff from Tokes. We carry, a lot of different, not only these CNOC bags, but a lot of different shaped bottles that are collapsible, a lot of different things from CNOC that we carry. And the gear that we make, especially with bags and stuff like that, we can make the same bags that you're carrying or a similar bag, but lighter weight, and in a lot of cases, even more durable.
Okay,
And then
let's go back here a second. Now, one bag you brought out, the carrying bag here, you said that's see-through.
Yeah.
Is it also waterproof?
this is not, I can absolutely make them out of waterproof material and put a waterproof zipper on them and everything. That's definitely an option. This little cube bag, I just use it at night when I'm in my hammock. I have a bag above me, and this is all the stuff I might need at night, you know, like some Motrin or just odds and little things. And so
As a veteran.
yeah. So I just take this out of my bag and throw it in there or throw it in my tent. But yeah, we have a lot of material. Like this is a material called Cuban fiber, or they changed the name to Dyneema now. It's stupid lightweight. And if you look at it really closely, you're probably not going to see it on a video, but there's a bunch of white strands. Each one of those strands, if you had a steel strand that same diameter, the strands in this are 8 times stronger than steel. I mean, and it's stupid light. It's expensive material, but really waterproof. We have a lot of options with materials, and we can make some of the same gear that people with bug out bags, people with bushcraft bags that they carry, but lighten the load for them a lot, you know.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll go back here. Now, do you make any optics, any special rope, anything, any pins, you know, in case a guy forgot to carry this, because, you know, I don't know about you, but I tend to forget things all the time. So,
what do you mean? Can you give me a better idea of what you're talking about, ropes and pins and stuff?
well, I mean, like, well, you know, we got that woven rope that we use in the military, real thin stuff that can pull, you know,
Oh, you're talking about like 550 cords?
Yeah, 550 cord, and we got that.
Yeah.
Do you have anything kind of like that you offer?
I
Any
have
optics?
stuff a whole lot better. This is Zingit. We also make lashes or sell lashes. But this cord, I'm actually going to make a video here in a couple of days about it, comparing it to 550 cord. It's just as strong as 550 cord. I got a 50-foot roll of 550 cord, the paracord, and a 180-foot roll of this with a cardboard tube attached. And this 180-foot roll weighs less and takes up less room than a 50-foot roll of paracord. This
Okay.
doesn't absorb water like paracord. It doesn't stretch like paracord does, especially when it's wet. And the stuff I normally use is gray, but this is really, really good, high quality stuff that everybody's really big into paracord. But if you use that one time, you're going to just take all your paracord and throw it in the fire.
Wow. That's okay. Any optics like looking glass, binoculars, binocular, anything like that?
No, I've never I've never gotten into any of that.
What about gloves? Any clothing? Hats,
No, there's some clothing I'd like to start carrying, but I just haven't settled on something that I would feel comfortable selling, because I only sell in the gear that I actually use. And so some of the clothing that I like, everybody else might not like, you know.
Right. No, yeah. That's pretty important. Let's go back here and check out J-Dub's pack he's got here. He's got quite a pack. Mine's not even near this sophisticated because, I mean, I'm an idiot, but I don't know how many pounds of stuff he's got.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm rude. Forgive me. Sorry about that. It was email conversation. This is J-Dub. You remember J-Dub before? J-Dub is Dan McNeil, Army veteran, retired truck driver. A hell of a guy, really. Now, J-Dub, explain a little bit what you got here and about how much weight you got here, you think?
So right here, you're looking, I mean, you're probably looking about, it's not horrible. I say about 15, 20 pounds when everything's all said and done. Okay. So, I mean, it's not horrible. I haven't put it on a scale. I mean, it's not like you're packing a rucksack or anything else like that, but you know, I mean, it's just got right. So, I mean, this is just, I mean, it's, to me, this is bare bones basic. I mean, you got your gloves. I got a scarf in there. I got a pack strap, some extra knives, a hatchet. I carry, a couple bottles of water, some extra gun lube, the talcum powder for wind checking, a couple different game calls. I keep a jet boil with the extra can of fuel. I usually keep 1 or 2 of those Mountain Home meals in my pack, rangefinder, headlamp, UHF, VHF radio for emergencies, GPS, what's not pictured here is a small first aid kit I got, my surgical shears that I got, just, it's not a whole lot here. I also have, as you can see above, my bone saw there, kind of off to like your center right. See a little strobe light there, like what we like exactly the same one that we use in the service. So those come in handy. So that way, if you're sitting there after dark or whatever, you get lost and after dark. Out here on the West Coast, especially a lot of places where I like to go elk hunting, out on the coastline. Something happens, you wind up going to MIA. Their authorities are really quick to call it Coast Guard to help out with the searches and whatnot. And well, since we got those strobes, from at least I kept mine from my time in the service. I'll turn that IR strobe on and throw that up, where it's visible. So the pilots are out there after dark trying to search. Guess what they can see with the night vision?
Absolutely. And
so
you're managed to take all this nice stuff and you're able to shove it into this bag. Tell us about this bag.
One pack. It's it's a middle of the road waist pack that you can pick up from Cabela's.
Okay, it's a waist pack. I mean, okay.
Well, it's a waist pack. It also has an add-on shoulder straps for it too. Okay. I think I paid $120 for it. Is what this pack cost me.
Okay, and it's a Cabela's. It sees right on there. Yeah, well, that's all fancy and nice and pretty. I wish I had J-Dub's money. No, I'm just kidding.
But that's what I take with me when I go out in the woods.
Nice. We'll go back here and we'll let Dan. Dan, you seen what he's working with there? Compare this bag to the bag that you showed us a while ago. The carry part.
The bag. Oh, the little bag, or
yes, sir. Yeah, the ones. Yeah, compared to that. Yeah. how can you shove about everything you've seen on this screen in that bag like that?
Oh no, oh no,
No. Okay.
no. It's and it wasn't designed for that. Of course, I could make one bigger to do that.
Right.
And you said about 20 pounds. That's pretty good to have all that much stuff and be under 20 pounds. And I think a lot of the bug out bags, get home bags, stuff like that. It's an individual thing on what they need. Like
Right.
you had mentioned, top powder for wind and rangefinders and everything, but you also mentioned elk hunting and stuff. That's stuff I would in my bug out bag. I make it to a couple days to get from point A to point B back home. And that's what I think about with the bug out bag. And that's why I was going to ask you about the shelter for your bag. But everybody builds their bags for different purposes. You know?
Right. Yeah. Some of us are going to acquire things. So
Yeah.
we don't have to take so much. Some of us are going to be prepared, what he didn't show on there, and I know Jada very well, somewhere on his body, he's got a defense weapon and he's got some ammo. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, my theory and my belief and the way I was taught, instead of putting all in one area, have all the weight spread the weight over your body. Like, you got a backpack, you got a hip thing like he's got, you can strap your gun to your leg, for example. Got some nice thigh holsters out there that you can do that to. Knives, some people want to carry 3 or 4 different knives, and there's a need for 3 or 4 different knives. Although we can break it down into 2, that'd be great. A saw, spread the stuff out. Now, I got an old rucksack, frame and all, that I have. Not my original one I had my son or my son-in-law. Well, he's my damn son. He come up with it because this fits you, Dad. Your air. I'm like, yeah, kiss my ass. I'm gonna have it. All right, thanks. So I'm already got an e-tool and a compass and all kind of other stuff in it.
Right.
Fabric does make a big deal. Waterproof, light, all that's excellent. Do you sell a lot of that stuff, and what's your biggest month that you sell the stuff in?
What's the biggest stuff I sell throughout the month?
Yeah, the biggest item, biggest things you sell. Like, do you sell a lot of X?
So a lot of the titanium cookware stuff sells. But it varies. Like right now, I'm in the process of restocking a website on what we sell, what we make. I mean, I'm in the process of doing that. Like little things like this little trail wallet.
Okay.
So when you're going out, it's a Dyneema. It's really light. It's waterproof. If you're going out, you just need your driver's license, a little bit of cash, stuff like that. Joggers, if somebody's out jogging, they could take a safety pin and clip it to the underside of their shirt or something like that. So a lot, everything kind of has a little swing depending on the time of year and all that kind of stuff. And once we restock with our gear that we make, then that'll start out selling the stuff like the Tokes and the CNOC and everything. And we have SI Made. It's an expo on July 19th here in Southern Illinois. It's all for local people that make their own stuff. So in July and August, the gear that we make will go up, and in the fall, a lot of people start backpacking, so the titanium cookware and all that kind of stuff start going. And then one of the things that ebbs and flows too, especially as I'm posting on social media, like in my Jeep, on the rack, overhead rack in between the passenger and driver's seat, I have a first aid kit. It's Velcroed on there. But just to keep it a little bit more secure, I have a strap with a buckle on it. So I got to thinking one day, if I have to send somebody back to my Jeep to get that, I want to make it as fast and simple as I can. So I got some of these glow in the dark buckles, and I made a bright yellow strap to go around it. So I can just say the yellow strap, grab the buckle, this glows in the dark, and then rip the pack off. So a lot of custom stuff like that, just little things like that we do for people. that's pretty nice.
No, damn. Big brain over there. I mean, he's thinking of all the things, you know.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Good job. Well, brother, man, look, we appreciate you coming on King's Court, join us. It's been a while since I talked to you. Been a while since I knew you. I feel bad that you retired 2 years ago and I didn't know about it from the trucking business.
Yeah.
Quite an endeavor. Them people, that's a job I wouldn't want. Them guys are, I give them a wide berth and I give them a lot of respect. Them truck drivers, you guys do things and drive in areas you probably
It's not just an occupation; it's a lifestyle.
No, it
Yeah,
is.
that's true. That's true.
That's a damn fact. But Dan, you want to hang around a little bit and listen to our and maybe comment on our mystery section?
Sure.
All right. He lives in South Illinois, guys. Southern Illinois, I guess. So, before we let you go, let us know where we can find you at. You got like a web address or something?
So MCN Hammocks, it's like Mike Charlie November Hammocks. YouTube, that's our website. Instagram, it's all under MCN Hammocks.
Excellent. There you guys go. Check him out. He's got some damn good looking things there you might need. And don't tell me somebody don't need something that's just on the screen today. I need all that shit because I don't have none of that. You know, all mine's different. But Dan, appreciate it, bro. All right, let's get into our mystery section. Jack the Ripper. Now, I'm not going to discuss Jack the Ripper himself. We're going to discuss Jack the Ripper's disappearance.
Okay.
I didn't know this was an actual thing, but it's been a huge debate on his disappearance. First of all, no one really gives a rat's ass. It was 1888. But anyway, where did Jack Ripper go? Nobody knows. Who is he? Mystery. Until today. They think they might have found out who this Jack the Ripper guy really is. So as you know, I'll put up on the screen what I got. I'll talk about it. You decide yourself what you think is real, what you think is don't. JW and I, we're not going to tell you what to think.
We report, you decide.
That's exactly right. All right. Jack the Ripper's disappearance remains one of history's most endeavored mysteries. Does it? Do we even really care he disappeared? I mean, anyway, okay. Despite a massive police investigation and public interest, the identity of the serial killer who terrorized London's Whitechapel district in 1888 was never discovered. While numerous suspects identified and theories abound, no definitive proof has ever surfaced to identify the preparation of his sudden cessation of killings. Well, why are we arguing why he quit? Isn't that a good thing he quit doing it? I mean, and maybe he ran in on somebody. Maybe he's with somebody's wife and the guy ran in and killed him. You know, who knows, right? Here you go. Several factors contribute to the lack of resolution. Primitive forensics. Criminally and forensics were in its infancy during the Victorian era, limiting police abilities to gather and analyze evidence. Complex crime scenes. The Whitechapel district maze-like layout of streets and alleyways, many of which were unlit at night. It made it difficult for police to patrol and investigate effectively. Public hysteria and hoax. The public's fascination with this case led to numerous hoax and false leads, diverting police resources and hindering genuine investigation. Lack of witness testimonies. Many potential witnesses were reluctant to come forward, and those who did offered conflicting accounts. Possible interrupted attacks. Some believe that the Ripper may have been interrupted during a murder of Elizabeth Stride, leading him to quickly commit another murder, that of Catherine Eddowes, soon after making it harder to track his movements. Police missteps. Some argued that the police made errors such as erasing a potential clue, a message written in chalk on the wall, due to fears of unrest. Modern theories and suspects. Despite the passage of time, research continues to analyze cases with DNA evidence and other methods being used to identify potential suspects. And which leads me to some DNA. They do have a suspect who they really think is good for all this. Okay. And I'll click on here. We'll get to him in just a second. But those of you who don't know who Jack the Ripper even was, he was a serial killer in New England in over there across the water, across the drink. In 1888 through 1991, he's accused of 5 murders that they know of, but they say there could have been a lot more.
Let's say, yeah, suspected of a whole lot more.
Yeah. So and then the kind of they got it down to 5, which they had names to. And of course, these ladies, were ladies of the night. That's why they were so conveniently killed. Now, Mr. Ripper made a mistake. Go back here and let me get out of this one here. Remove that. No, they have some DNA, and we're going to talk about it. Who they think this guy really is. And you're thinking to yourself, they had DNA back in that day? No, but they had a ways of getting it. They say, okay, this is your guy. This is the guy they say it is. Aaron Kosminski. Aaron Kosminski. Well, this photo looks like a guy would be doing something like that.
Wasn't he like a doctor or something?
Well, they think that because he was good with a knife. He's good with a scalpel. And let me go on here. Let me tell you. It says, how'd they get his DNA? Well, let me tell you. In 2007, this guy on here who bought the evidence, he bought a shawl, which he believed to have been left at the murder scene, and gave it to biologist Jerry. Oh, somehow, some weird ass name, Mountain. We'll go with that to test for DNA. A peer review article on the DNA analysis published in Journal of Forensics Science in 2019 said that they had his mom's DNA, and the lady that owned the scarf, her DNA was on the same scarf. Therefore, they did some type of other check and found out they believe this is your guy. Modern forensic people argue with this. They say the evidence is contaminated, or they don't even believe at all that it was even him. All right. So if we click on him right here, we'll see that he was born 11th of September 1865, and he died March 1919. He was a Polish hairdresser on this one, who was suspected in the Jack the Ripper murders, 1888. He was a Polish Jew who immigrated from Congress, Poland, to England from 1880. He worked as a hairdresser in Whitechapel and East End of London, where a series of murders ascribed the identity person nicknamed Jack the Ripper, who committed these in 1888. In 1891, Kaczynski was institutionalized after he threatened his sister with a knife. What's wrong with that? I threatened my sister with a knife several times. He was first held at the asylum, and then he was transferred to a different asylum. Police officials from the time of the murders named one of their suspects as Kosminski. The forename was not given and described him as a Polish Jew and insane asylum. Now, we'll skip a lot of this crap here. It goes down here on September 14th. Author Russell Edwards claimed in a book naming Jack the Ripper to have reported Kosminski's guilt. In 2007, he bought a shawl, now Russell Edwards, that's the guy who bought the shawl from previous statement a while ago, which he believed to have been left at the murder scene, and gave it to the biologist guys we talked about. The DNA analysis published in 2019, scientists from the Innsbruck Medical University. He criticized papers and its conclusions and sustained that there were mistakes and misassumptions made by its author, and a journal printed expression of concern. Now, the DNA says it was this Kosminski guy. Now, listen, you got people that disagree on. Take the O.J. Simpson trial, for example. Okay, majority of people believe he did it. There was evidence all over whether he did it, but it didn't fit. It must have quit, got him off. Did he really kill it? Go back in history. History's going to say, according to the law, O.J. Simpson didn't kill them people. According to the evidence, you've seen evidence as I've seen it. It's been a long time coming. So I bring you that to talk about. Let's go back where we are. J.W., you're a highly intelligent man, and I respect a lot of what you say and what you talk about. I don't know if you've ever gave this case any thought, nor why would you care, but what do you think about the DNA they used to assume this guy? He's never been charged. Obviously, he's been dead over 100 years. But where you at?
The hardest part, I mean, so to give a little background right quick, and I speak for this as somebody that actually went to college and went to school for studying criminal justice, criminology, forensics, that background. I have a degree in that field. So I speak with this with a little bit of education here.
Okay.
When it comes to DNA evidence, it has come milestone. And anybody with two working brain cells in their brain can tell you that DNA evidence and forensic evidence has, the way it's been gathered, the science behind it has come miles upon miles from where it was at back during those times during the 1880s when these crimes were first taking place. Do I find it odd that they were able to find something like hairs, some sort of sample that would actually possess some sort of DNA that can actually withstand over that amount of time? It is possible. The problem with that, especially when you start looking at things like hair follicles and stuff like that, even though that is a great source of DNA evidence, over time it degrades greatly. And from the time when this DNA, quote unquote, DNA evidence was discovered, it's been nearly 120, 130 years for that evidence to actually, about a little over 120 years for that to see the light of day, or at least be announced, that it's seen the light of day. That's a lot of degradation. So unless they actually have something solid, like an actual living relative to the person they suspected it was, that's going to be a hard one for them to match up. Do I think it's plausible? Maybe, but it is a very, very, very hard stretch. Do I see it holding up its day in court? Probably not.
Right. Now
Because
we know
as far as in the court of public opinion, well, that could go 6 ways from Sunday. We all know how that goes.
Right.
So,
right.
but legally speaking, it'd be a hard one for it to hold up. It really would.
Right. So long ago. Our good buddy Dean says, well, he'd like to give him a lie detector test.
Right.
They did say he's able to test hair and semen, although, getting that odds of them getting it from the shawl. Who's to say the shawl wasn't washed a bunch of times? But they got a profile from somewhere. Okay, about this Kaminsky guy. So I don't know. That's been a long time ago. Of course, DNA is amazing. Although DNA is like a lie detector test. If you got somebody reading a lie detector test who's not biased, he can say it says whatever you want. Okay. I know some people that send in their DNA to these DNA sites. They got these little kits you get, like Ancestry.com and
23andMe
and stuff like that. The guy did both of them, and neither one of them matched him. Neither one of them was his real deal. And he called up because they're supposed to have 99% efficiency. He called him up and said, well, truth be told, we take your last name and we start comparing there to who you're related to, or supposed to be related to. Someone has the same similar last name. We can figure out if you've got two English names, we deduce that you're probably 98% or more English or whatever. And a lot of Native American blood don't get tested. Like it's got some type of special freaking marker or something. You just can't. I mean, so right. A lot of those things, it makes people question those. But there's certain DNA outlets where they do that. They get a family tree going, an accurate family tree, and they can go down from there to there to there and start eliminating cousins and uncles and things like that till they get down. Damn, I think a lot of them get within one generation and they start poking around and figure out, hey, this matches this guy. It's fascinating, but
yeah,
DNA's come a long way, like you said, man. He really, but that far away, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna say these two guys are lying, wanting fame, because I never heard of them. You never heard of them,
right?
But they got the DNA. They got the profile from somewhere. Dan, what do you think? You're an intelligent dude.
I kind of think because it's been so long, and like the example you gave about the shawl, what if the shawl had been washed many times or used. The chain, what they talk about with that, the chain of evidence, from when it's first picked up to when it's, I, I don't see that being very reliable over this much time. That's my
Absolutely.
biggest reason.
Nails it.
Yeah, 1888, and they did a test in 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's a
It's over 100-some years,
long
gentlemen.
time.
Yeah.
not saying DNA changes because it don't, but
No, it don't. But it does break down.
it does break down. Only way he could probably pull this off, maybe, and JW, you got more in this than I do, but if he bought the shawl that's been in that family, that's belonged to that lady forever, they could prove that it belonged to that family.
Well, yeah,
Because
because
she was murdered.
that's just linking markers.
Maybe
Is what that is.
maybe they can do it, but it's still hard press to sell me because they said semen in the hair. I don't know about the semen in the hair part. They got the marker
first-
somewhere, but
The first one, yeah. Like, really, are you really going to find an intact freaking sperm cell over that long amount of time that that's worth anything for being able to pull any sort of DNA off of? But like I said, the hair thing, going back to that, that actually holds up a lot better than what the other one does. So, believe it or not.
yeah.
And like I said, as long as a lot of the key markers are there, as long as you talk about with it being, something that was in the family, as long as those, a lot of the key markers match up, and enough of them match up, then then it is plausible. So that it's not out of the scope of possibility.
No, and they have made mistakes. There's been several museums that they say they have somebody's piece of history, and when they look it over, they discover that it's not theirs at all. Take, for example, the skull of Geronimo. All right.
Yeah.
No, he's not my relative, but he was a Klans guy. But they said the certain university had his skull. The story goes, though, they cut his head off and they buried him in two different spots, and the skull was dug up, and the tribe buried him somewhere else. Well, the guy come in, I guess, the way the story was, maybe we'll do mystery on that, but his family's always had the skull. It's never been in that university. And so somebody got tired of hearing the argument. They did a damn DNA test, and the family was right. They had the skull of Geronimo, not the university. And so they have made mistakes. But for me
no way.
But for me to believe this gentleman in 2007 was able to get DNA, that's a hard pass for me. I don't. It's a hard pass for me. And J-Dub hit on something earlier a while ago. If y'all caught that, we were all taught that Jack the Ripper had a doctor background.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This guy had he was a hairstylist. Not saying he might have been a little kumsa back in that day. I don't know about you, but I've never seen nobody take a scalpel out and do hair with it.
No.
I mean, a straight razor to shave, that'd be about it.
But some of the murders, if you read about them, were very graphic. I mean, he used some good tools. I mean, I don't have no other way to say it. No disrespect.
Take a little bit more than just a straight razor to be as accurate with a cut as what a lot of those were.
I mean, hairspray to the eye was effective, but I don't know anybody that died for hairspray to the eye. Okay? So, I mean, I don't know, but to me, I don't know. I don't believe that. I think he's still out there. I don't think we'll ever know the real truth. His disappearance, and that was even a thing. I don't know. Don't know what happened to him. Why did he only commit 5 murders? Maybe, don't know. I don't know. Maybe he had a conscience. I don't know. Not like they can give. Sorry, Dina. My bad, brother. Here you go.
Right.
The first barber was basically doctors and dentists. Well, that's dentist would be a little more. Yeah, we had a dentist who was a famous outlaw. You ever heard of Doc Holliday? He was a dentist, and a philosopher, and other things. So, yeah, Dan, I don't know. That's a long, long time, brother. I mean,
I think it's like some of your best fishing stories are about the one that got away.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think it's better just to leave this that nobody knows.
I think I was gonna say I think you have a stronger case of proving the DB Cooper case than what you do this one.
Yeah.
And we laid that out, didn't we? We tried to lay that one out. I ain't even sure there was a Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Jack the Ripper is just a title because they don't know. They don't know. You know, O.J. Simpson, like I said earlier, did he kill them people? I can lay out evidence that says he did all day long. But 100 years from now, they're gonna look back and think he was accused of something he didn't do.
Yeah.
And they had DNA. Well, I guess maybe they had DNA. I don't know. He never was convicted of anything. So, yeah, I'm a hard no on that. Jada, what say you?
As far as whether or not Jack the Ripper was an actual
Kaminsky
individual,
guy. Yeah, kill him. Well, no, if the Kaminsky guy is the one that did it. Beyond
as far as whether or not it's Kaminsky, because of the evidence, the plausible evidence that is out there, I'm kind of inclined to go, and the fact that it's familial backed, I'm inclined to roll with it a little bit, but at the same time, because there's never been no solid confirmation, I think I'm on the fence. I'm border on this one.
Okay. Hey,
So
Dan,
I will say plausible.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think it's way too much time has passed. I don't think there's any evidence somebody could present to me that would convince me that that was the guy that did it. Just too much time has passed.
Well, one thing's for sure: if the three of us were on a jury, he'd walk.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't. There's no way you can agree. And Jada's on the fence, so it means he needs more convincing. Yeah, with this evidence, you can't convince me, and you can't convince Dan. So, yeah, he'd be.
There's nothing to prove beyond a reasonable doubt.
No, and I think they'll find Amelia Earhart's body before they figure out who Jack the Ripper even is. Okay, we covered her on here too. Will they ever find her? Probably not. They probably have already found her and mislabeled her or something. Who knows?
Could be
like the dogs on the Titanic. There was dogs that lived off the Titanic. A lot of people didn't know that. Now little dogs, of course. But guys, it's been a great show. Dan, it's been a pleasure, an honor, sir, having you back on again. You're a very knowledgeable guy. You go getter, man. You're a go getting machine. What you do for people can be understated. It should be overstated. What it should be. Southern Illinois, you got a lot of things happening. I wish you the best of luck, brother. Anytime you want to come back on any of the shows on this network here, you're more than welcome to come on and pimp out your product and talk about it. You're a great person to have on. We thank you for coming. We really do. And one more time, please give your information where somebody can find your products. All
right. First, I appreciate you having me on. So the website is MCN Hammocks, and that's all our social media. That's the website, YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff.
Excellent. You got any thoughts? We usually, when we close out the show, we always give I think you remember we just talked about the suicide in this country. You being a veteran, give us a closing out. What do you think about, suicide and how to stop it?
Suicide. My tattoo on my arm says, "When life is more terrible than death, it's then the truest valor to dare to live." That's about my couple years of struggling with constant thoughts of suicide. The thing that aggravates me more than anything else in life is I've been through that. I've lived through that, but even having experienced it myself, when somebody's going through it, I cannot come up with the words to convince that person to keep going, to keep trying. And I mean, I'm there for anybody. I'm always a phone call away anytime, night or day, but I just can't come up with the words to convince them that, it will get better. Just hang in there,
Right. Well said. My old friend, what do you think? What do you guys say?
It's when it comes to, not just veteran suicide, but suicide in general.
Absolutely.
It is, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. There are times in life when you feel like you hit rock bottom. And when I say you hit rock bottom, you get that feeling of hopelessness, that lost feeling like your worth is no longer there. You do have worth. There are people on this earth, believe it or not, that actually do care, even if it's a very small amount. You do have value. You bring something to the table no matter where you go. What that is, I can't tell you, but it's something. There is something there that you possess that nobody else does. That is good in this world. And you need to hang on to that, and you need to find that. And for those of us within the veteran community, a lot of people have a hard time making that adjustment. The biggest thing that you have to do is remember, from our time in the service, we were given a task, we were given that structure, we were given a mission.
Right.
When you get out, you have to find your next mission. You have to find that next purpose. If you can find that purpose, you will find meaning in your life, and that's what you need to cling to. That's what you need to hang on to. No matter how small that is, that's what you got to hang on to. Absolutely. And it does get better. No matter how bad it gets, it does get better. I promise you. I am walking, talking, breathing proof of it. It does get better. Excellent. So there's a lot of negative in today's world. Oh my God, it's horrible. Whether economically, politically, personally, whatever. Yes. The world is trash right now, but it starts with us. And as long as we can make ourselves better, the rest of everything in time will fall in place. So, with that, Richie,
damn, I don't know. Woo, that was excellent. I'm gonna put something on the screen because it's that time of year, something that helps a lot of people. Get out of your house. Learn these fish.
Yes.
Learn them. My wife and I didn't do enough fishing last year. We're remedying that problem. Okay, that problem's been remedied. Okay, she got her fish license. I got mine. You get a line, I get a pole. We'll go to crawdad hole. I don't care. We're going fishing. But there you are. Learn these fish. Have a goal in life to catch each one of these. Catch each one of these multiple times.
Yes,
I've caught just about every fish on here except that damn muskie. There are fish at 10,000 casts. Good luck trying to catch one of those things.
May the odds be in your favor.
Oh, man. Take away the muskie and the pike. Everything else on here. Oh, except where's that other one? That one you got to snag.
What, carp?
No. I've caught too many of them damn things. The sturgeon. I haven't caught one of those either. Those are only 3 fish that I never caught. And I'm working on it. Believe me, I'm going to be around a while to do this. Learn your fish. Guys like
Richie, we got to go searching fishing, man.
We have to. Before I cash in all my chips, I need to go. Okay, I don't care if I go bow and arrow or a crossbow or just regular fishing. It doesn't matter. We got to snag and whatever.
I know, feller. By God.
Yeah. I got a guy. Yeah.
I do got a guy.
As my 2 friends said on here, you have value. You're not worthless unless you're child molester. Then you know how we feel about you. But you got something you got to do in life. I don't know what it is. Only you will know. Inside you know. Make people laugh. Sing to them. You guys can sing your heart out. If you can tell stories and read books, do you. But take care of yourself. Because if you can take care of everybody else, not take care of you, what good's that going to do? It's like these great mechanics. I know a lot of great mechanics work on people's stuff. Their stuff's trash because they ain't got time to work on their own stuff. Okay. Yeah. You guys, you're loved. People love you guys. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Okay. I'm getting tired of seeing all these damn cats running around here tripping over them and stuff. As quote famous Bob Barker. We love you, Bob. Well, yeah. Have your pet spayed or neutered. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. 4th of July is coming. 4th of July is coming. Also, in a couple of days, I'll be 4 more days, I think it is. Half the year will be gone. Look back and assess. Half the year is already gone. A lot of you can do without hearing that information. Half the year, gentlemen and ladies, is about gone. Okay. Have you accomplished anything in your half a year? What have you done your half a year? I don't know. Got a question here that says, have you caught a walleye either? I have caught a walleye. I sure the hell have. That's one of the big, they got teeth. Okay. That's how I learned I had teeth because I caught one.
They get you.
Yeah, they will get you. Like a freaking old gar. I had a gar almost chew my arm off once. My arm was too damn big for him, but he tried. I'll give him an A for effort. He was coming at me. Knucklehead, but yeah. I mean, say, guys, thank you, Dan, for coming on, brother. We appreciate what you do. Keep your head up, going strong. Thanks for not committing suicide. Thanks for not being part of the 22 a day. Okay,
Absolutely.
J-Dub, brother, hey, man, listen, what you guys do for Thor BB Nation, you guys are quality people. Okay, you guys can walk around your heads held high. You owe nobody nothing, nobody an apology. You're great folks. Thank you a lot for carrying us, this little stupid little show, carrying us on your network. Appreciate it. Shout out to Jeff Onyx for allowing us to be on the Comedy Vets, our mother station there, Comedy Vets on YouTube, Comedy Vets on Facebook. Check us out, like and subscribe. Every time we get one of our comedian guys get a video, it'll pop up here. Also, Friday, it looks like it's in the works. I'm going to start a small little deal called Conversation with a Comedian. And my first guest is going to be our brother, our friend on here, Mr. David Scott, King of Clean Comedy.
Oh,
also,
man.
We're just going to have, he might cut in a bit. We're just going to introduce him. A lot of people don't know who he is. I'm shocked. The guy's he's an absolute funny, clean comedian. I've toured with him I've been to many shows with him many times. Hell, he's over for me. I've over for him. Both of us closed. Great comedian. Him and Jesus told jokes together. So that's going to be Friday night. We're going to get him on there. We're going to talk a little bit with him and just introduce everybody to who David Scott is. And I got a bunch more comedians. We're going to try to go down the line and do that. So that's going to be live. So tune in for that. It's just going to be on the Comedy Vets Network. Unless J-Dub gives authorization, I'll probably put it on BB Nation as well. Oh, there you go. So now it's going to be a BB Nation and Comedy Vets. So get on. That means, say, guys, take care of yourselves and each other. I got to give my grandson a 4-wheeler ride. He wants to turn the lights on and go. So I'm going to go do that. Take care of yourselves and each other. Don't dog ahoy until we meet again. On behalf of J-Dub, Dan, and everybody here, and everybody there, and everybody out there somewhere, we'll see you.